Hello again, guys. I think this week we're getting a couple of little things done. For starters, I got different wheels, different tires for the front of the Nova. Unfortunately, they are not the same Cooper Cobras that are on the back because, well, they don't make them in the size that I need. So I got some cheapies for now for the front until I can figure out what I want to do. I really don't want to switch tires on the car. And while we were at it, let me get this open. We went ahead and got these magnificent looking bastards mounted up with some tires for the old Rambler. So that'll be what we're doing this week, I think, is trying to maybe clean these up a little bit and then throwing them on the Rambler. I don't even know if we're going to bother cleaning them up, or we're just going to throw them on and go the way they are for the laugh. Because, well, it'll match the car well enough. After that, I don't know what we're doing. This week is definitely just a week. I still need to order the other part of the engine mount I need for this, so I can start getting this a little bit more figured out. This is the day after the last video, because I've pretty much got to film a little by little throughout the week now. So we haven't got any of the stuff yet cleaned up from doing the interior, but that's going to get done this week. And I got to get the Celica where it's not in the middle of the garage anymore, so I can get the Rambler into the garage so we can do the wheels and tires. After that, I don't know what we're doing. I need to see about maybe ordering a shock for this, because this front shock needs replaced pretty bad. So maybe I can get that in this week, and that can be part of the video too. Yeah, I really like the video to be some more about this though. So we'll see. I don't know. We're just gonna kind of play it by ear on this one, guys. See what happens. So, as always, I have my little shop hand out here helping me in the garage today, rolling around on her stool. So yeah, all right, let's get to it. We're gonna go ahead and get the fronts back on the Nova and go from there. Alright, so those are on. Those are two 1560s, which is a little bit shorter than what was on before. It had two 1565s on it before. And these are supposed to be roughly a ½ inch shorter, give or take a little bit. They do still make a little bit of contact, but now they make contact at full lock. Before, it was after her, it was before full lock. So while that's still not great, and I'd rather it made no contact at all, it is now at a point to where it's where the fender almost looks like it wants to come back in a little bit. And it's right at the peak of how wide the tire is. So now it's a little bit of, I can take a hammer, as bad as that sounds, I can take a hammer and I can make a little bit of clearance. So, and I can now go lower like I want, and it'll actually work. Before, I couldn't, lowering it would have made the situation 10 times worse. Now, it's workable. The back still needs something done about it because, well, frankly, I need a narrower rear end to go lower. And with as low as I want to go, which will be, right about here. I'd like to be right below that eye, realistically, on radial. So you see how big of a drop that's going to be. I need either a narrower rear end, or I've got to look at pulling some things and making the whole booty of the car wider. So we'll figure that out, though. It's not a necessity right now, nor anything that's happening anywhere in the near future. So we'll worry about it at that point. Yeah, let's start. I am ready for fall, guys. I am tired of being hot and sweaty all the time. Even in fall, I'm hot and sweaty, but not as bad as I am during the summer. Whew. So, and it's only like noon. But, all right. Well, that's one project done. Now to get some other things moved around. The little helpers in the back of the truck, back of the van, trying to get the wheels out. That should be interesting. Luckily, she can't hurt them. Hopefully, she don't hurt herself, though, either. Probably should stop her from doing that. Hey, what are we doing in there? What are we doing? Are we trying to get the wheels out? Yeah, well, let Dad get some other stuff moved, and then we'll get the wheels out, okay? Can we do that? Can we move some cars first? Yeah. We gotta move the 8.6, and then we gotta move the Celica. How about we do that, and then we'll worry about those, okay? Alright, we're gonna get some cars moved around, guys. I'll bring you back after that. Alright, so we are over here working on the Rambler again. And we have discovered, with just a touch of sketchiness, just a touch, you can make a tie rod end for a, what was it, 98 Tahoe?
Yeah, somewhere.
Something like that. Work on a 63 Rambler. So, yes, I know that's not the best idea. That's the only way I had to do it right now. I don't care. It'll be fine. I'll order the proper one later. This just gets it to where I can drive it. Because, I mean, let's face it. It's a shit box. I'm not going to be doing 80 down the highway. We'll be doing like 30 in town. It'll be fine. If I get to 30. So. Because there's a lot of other things I got to be concerned about before I ever get that fast. Again, it'll be fine. It's tight. It's good. One less thing to worry about. Kinda. Alright, now to get these crusty things on here. And see how they look. Oh, that looks way better than it has any right to look. Oh no. Normally I send pictures of things like this that I do to my buddy Ryan. Like, because I got the wheels off of him. So normally, the moment I do it, I instantly send him pictures. Because he always wants to see. I think for his safety, I need to not do that this time. Because I have a feeling the moment I do, I'm going to have to throw a price tag on the dang thing. Because those made that car grow up a lot. And yes, I know they look like shit. The whole car looks like shit. So the fact that it looks uniformly shit is just, and this one right here gives me hope. Because this was just a little bit of a wipe down. So underneath all that crap, there is some shining in those wheels a little bit somewhere. So they're going to be somewhat shiny, somewhat terrible looking Keystone Classics. Holy shit. Classic wheels on a Rambler Classic. way more fitting than I thought it would be too. Now that I think about it, getting them on didn't go quite as... It went smoothly. I shouldn't say it didn't go smoothly. It didn't go quite as smoothly as I thought it was going to. The fronts still needed a wheel spacer. The backs did not, and thank God they didn't, because I don't think it'd clear if they did. But the fronts did, but it was only half the spacer it had on it before. There's the ones that were on it. It had a 2-inch spacer on it before. Now they're only a 1-inch spacer, and it really doesn't even need that much. That's what I had laying around. So that's what I put on. It basically needed like one of like the little like thin like 10 millimeter ones, just to get rid of the little bit of dish that there is in the front drum. These were made for a more flat drum in the front, or a flat drum period, than these drums are. So, and it wasn't so much that it was hitting on the drum that was causing the problem, is there's a weight on the front of the drum to like balance it. It was hitting on that weight. So that was the issue. Yeah, that looks way, way better than it has any right to. Now I got to get it to where I can drive the dang thing. I also, while I had it up in the air, I changed the tie rod end, which in turn, I found I need another tie rod end, because the other side is just not quite as bad as the passenger side was, but pretty bad. So, hopefully you remember that part number, because I need another one. Yeah, I think I got the box laying in here yet too. So I think we're good. So, well, yeah. All right. So the next thing I got to figure out, besides that, is the rotational clunking going with the transmission, which I'm hoping is just a fluid change. And for some reason now, no matter what I do, if I hook the wire up that made the brake lights work fine before, I have constant brake light now until I release pressure from the master cylinder. So I don't know. I know at least one of my rear wheel cylinders needs rebuilt, because that one's leaking. So I wonder maybe if both of them need something done, and that's what's causing the issue, because it didn't happen the first couple times I drove it, but after I drove it more than a block is when it started happening. So yeah, that's gonna be the next thing though, is figuring that out, and hoping that fluids fix some of the rest of the stuff, because those are the only things really keeping it from being drivable right now, other than the god-awful interior, which will end up being a video semi-soon, because we now have the blankets to do that. So, well, we've got, what, 3 of the 4 we need? Need one. We need at least one more, depending on how you want to do it. Yeah. But yeah, so hopefully here soon you guys will see a video on that. Alright, I think this is all I got time for the minute. This is not going to be the end of the video. I just think it's going to be the end of my day working. But yeah, that is looking way better than it has rights to. I'm kind of excited now. Well, it is a new weekend, and I'm picking up from where I left off with the Rambler. As you can see, it's been sitting for a few days and now has 2 flat tires because, well, apparently these wheels needed cleaned up around the lip, and they didn't do it at Walmart. Go figure. So now these 2 won't hold air, but I do believe the other 2 are holding air. So, I mean, that's 50% ain't too bad, right, guys? And, well, something else happened today, because I got my 401k payout from my previous job, which was enough to pay off this girl. Enough to pay off this girl, and enough to go ahead and drop the Nova off of my brother-in-law to get the LS swap done in it, so the Nova can be more of a daily driver. And, well, in the process of looking for some parts for the MGs on Facebook, I stumbled across this for a very reasonable price for a Triumph Spitfire. And this being one of the British cars that I have wanted for a while. It tends to be you want a Spitfire, you end up with an MGB because, well, the MGBs are cheaper. And for the price it is far from perfect. I got to go through the interior. The interior needs a lot of love. The outside needs some love. The paint's not perfect, but it is reasonably good enough. And I drove it an hour home. For all intents and purposes, I should have made an attempt to film it to show you guys, but it was in the middle of a rainstorm today, so I chose to focus on driving instead of trying to film. And not to mention, I may have forgot my phone mount in the truck, so I didn't exactly have a phone mount to mount it to the window anyway. But I drove in an hour home, no real issues. It needs some work, obviously. Besides the paint work, needs refreshed. It needs an exhaust manifold. I'm hoping, from the way it seems, it needs U-joints on the drive shaft. If not, I need a axle shaft, and that creates a whole nother fun mess of issues. And overall, it just needs cleaned up. The taillights do not currently want to work. I think that's just, or the taillights work, but the brake lights don't. So I'm hoping that's just the brake light switch. Got to get that fixed. One of the headlights has no wiring to it at all at the moment, so I need to get that fixed. Like I said, it is this thing will probably end up being a whole little mini video series of its own, kind of a smaller version of the Corolla and the Rambler series. I do want to get this cleaned up relatively soon because I do want to start driving it more, because it does, like I said, it does run and drive fairly well. And I want to get the Rambler done. So I think we're going to try to focus a little bit more on the Rambler today. Although I think tomorrow I do need to try to get the Nova into the garage to hopefully get the engine and transmission out of it, so I can start preparing it to go to my brother-in-law's this week while I am off work for a few days. So we'll see how that goes. But either way, I got to get the Rambler to where I can move it out anyway before I can get the Nova in to get the engine out. So that'll be step number one. But I think while it's in here, I do want to go ahead. I have at least one rebuild kit for that back wheel cylinder, and I have another tie rod end. So I do want to go ahead and try to get those done and get a jump start on some of that. I don't know if I'm going to try to get to the tie rod end today, or if I'm just going to try to get to that wheel cylinder. We'll see what happens. It may turn into I may get to neither one. I want to get some things cleaned up. The garage needs cleaned up before I do anything else, realistically. So yeah, it's always something around here, isn't it? Yeah. All right, I will bring you guys back as soon as I figure out what I'm doing. But yeah, I wanted to show you the Triumph. I'm kind of excited about that. I love this little car. It's a good little car. This one is definitely staying still, even though I'm pretty sure I got to put an engine in it, because I'm pretty sure I heard it. But my red MGB GT that's sitting over in another town getting all the body work done, I think it comes home next weekend. And when it comes home, I think it is directly leaving and going to another buddy. I think is buying it instead. And I will have this and that to toy around with, which I think will be far more fun than two of these. Yeah, but hopefully this will be on the road here soon too. So, all the toys, guys. I'm loving it. All right, I'll bring you back in a minute. I am back from the auto parts store, and while I could not get a factory brake light switch, because the housing on the brake light switch apparently broke the moment I got in the car, go figure, because the guy was as surprised as I was when I said, hey, I don't think it's got brake lights. While I couldn't get a factory one for a 94 Honda Passport with an extra nut, seems like it's going to do the job. So I would take you guys under the dash, but I barely fit under there, let alone fit a camera under there to where I can record too. So yeah, that works though. It's just a simple, I believe it's interferes with the ground, like it presses in and breaks the ground. the moment the pedal comes off of it, it connects to the ground and you have brake lights. I believe that's how it works. That's how that switch is supposed to work anyway. So we're going to put her in there and I'll have brake lights now. Woohoo! Which means that car is actually drivable as it sits, which makes me feel a lot better. I mean, it's totally drivable without, but I don't want to get rear-ended, so there's that. All right, I'll bring you guys back when I'm done with that. Not that I'll really be able to show you, though. There's what they look like off. But yeah, all right. So I don't think this week is going to be about this. I'm just doing this now because, well, I have it out and I'm here. This right here is mainly what this week's video is going to be about. That and getting the engine out of the Nova. This is what I need to do today. Shouldn't be that hard. And getting the engine out of the Nova probably tomorrow shouldn't be that bad either. Because realistically, that should be just a couple wires and about 3-4 bolts to get that out. I think realistically, I'm going to try to get it out as a whole because I don't want to. I don't want to separate the transmission. I mean, worst case scenario, I can also just take it to him with the engine still in it. Me and him just kind of agreed. I tried to pull it out just for simplicity's sake for him. Yeah. All right. I'm rambling again. Back to work. All right. Now that we got the brake light switch fixed in that, and took the little one for a cruise in it, and she likes it. So it is Skylar approved. We're going to go ahead and work on tackling this wheel cylinder and going from there, seeing what else we need to do. So I will try to record actually fixing this if I can, unlike some of the other stuff I've been doing lately. A lot of the rest of the stuff I've been doing has been in places that are just a wee too tight to fit my big self and the camera. So yeah, but we'll try doing it here because I know I can here. How much of it you guys are gonna get to see, I don't know. We're gonna find out though. Alright, so now the goal is we got to try to get that right here out on both sides so we can clean that up and put the rebuild kit in, because there's some like grommets or O-rings and stuff in there that seals this. Hopefully this is salvageable, because I can't find another one. Alright, these actually come out easier than I thought they were going to. Now the next thing is I gotta figure out how I'm going to clean up the inside though, because it is a disaster inside of here, which needs to be done before I put it back together, because everything that's inside of here that's just dirty, nasty, is going to prevent it from actually continuing to work right, even after new ones are put in. So, I gotta figure out how I'm doing that. I'll be right back. So, then I'm gonna start wiping down with some paper towel. And then I got these sanding sponges that I'm pretty sure I can roll up and just fit inside of there and spin them around. So, we're gonna see how that goes. So, here is the before. I stuffed my finger through it. Heck, that right there made a huge difference. Okay, we're gonna roll this up. Stuff that inside of there. I almost wonder if I couldn't turn on my drill, stuff this in the end of my drill, lock it down on it. See if that wouldn't do any good. Then again, alright, there did a pretty good job. It ain't perfect inside there, but there's a few of those little cracks and crevices and creases in there I'm not going to be able to get perfect. So, matter of fact, I might take that as a win. Clean up the outside of it a little bit here, because the outside is just about as nasty as the inside was from it leaking everywhere. Clean up these things, because these need to be just about as clean as what the bores do. Much better. It was like that. Now it looks like that. It's better. One of these days I will make a video where I am not a hot, sweaty mess. One day. Today's not that day. One day though. There you go. Not perfect. Good enough. Good enough for the cards going in. All right. Now for the fun part. Spring's got to go in there. And that sets on the spring, and then that sets against the rest of it. And shocker, it's not the right rebuild kit. Why am I not surprised? So here's hoping that maybe cleaning it will have solved most of my issue. Because that rebuild kit ain't going to do a damn thing. I love how parts for 63 Rambler never seem to fit a 63 Rambler. Luckily that was only like $1 and it's not worth returning. I shouldn't say that was $1 because it was more than $1, but considering the wife works at the auto parts store, she was able to get it for me for $1. That would probably be the better way of putting it. I think now though that cylinder bore is clean, maybe it'll reseal better. That's the lie I'm going to tell myself anyway. Is now that it's cleaner, it will seal. So therefore it will work. No, I don't fully believe that. I don't fully believe that lie either. But hey, there we go. It's back together, so we can go from there and figure it out. So I do think the cylinder bores being dirty were a big part of the problem I was having because nothing moved freely. So it was. I think this is going to solve a couple problems. Hopefully, it'll solve the problem of leaking, which I just think this thing in general is beat to the point that it's not going to. But it was also retaining pressure somewhere and holding the brake light switch on. So hopefully this will solve that problem too.
Daddy.
What, baby?
I thought myself.
What's going on? Now I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to the camera about this baby. So, all right. Time to get this back in the car. All right, that is all tied up and done. I would have recorded it, but it wanted to fight me every step of the way. So I just kind of did it off camera, unfortunately. I'm sorry, guys. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to tie into where that T is, right here in the brake line. And I'm going to move the brake pedal switch from there up to there. I don't know if it's something to do with that port or what, but the brake lights will not shut off. The brake lights are on, they're on. They don't shut back off. And so I don't know if that's giving it some kind of funny pressure signal or what. So I'm going to move it up to there and hopefully that'll fix it. If not, if that don't fix it, then I am going to rig something up down right off of the brake pedal itself. Don't ask me how yet because I don't know, but that's what I'm going to do. So we're crossing one bridge at a time, pretty much. So which just means I will run the wires from here back into the car and solve my brake light switch problem that way. If it isn't one thing, it's another, guys. So, yeah. So, I think that's it for the night, though. Because we want to get cleaned up. We want to have dinner. And it's already pushing like 7:30 at night. So, we kind of need to get that done. Kids want food. I want food. Wife wants food. We burn up about half the day dealing with this. So, tomorrow we're going to rearrange some cars. Look at these two. They look so happy sitting together. Such cute little cars. Love them. But yeah. We will be back on this in the morning. I want to get that done kind of quick so we can get that in the garage and start figuring out getting the engine and transmission out of it. And there may be something coming down to the house that some of the parts from that will end up working on. So we may be doing the winter beater challenge, so to speak, here soon. Even though it's the middle of summer. We'll see how it goes, though. Oh, let's probably put the window up on this. Oh. Seals up so good. Very British. Alright, that's it for tonight, guys. We'll be back in the morning. And guys, so we have the brake light switch for the Rambler. Wow, look at this driveway. So much color, so many nice cars. All beautiful disasters. With the exception of that one. That one's just meh. I don't know why I'm so meh about that one right now. I love that car, but still, just meh. So, this morning's plan, before I start on that, is I want to get that moved up to the other driveway. Because, well, till I figure out what's going on with the engine with it, it's just kind of in the way back here at the moment. So, I want to get it moved. I'm going to move the van. And I'll probably go ahead and do this off camera. Because, my God, I don't want to bore you guys with it. But I'm going to get all the miscellaneous interior parts for the Corolla, either at least on a shelf or up in the top of the garage, one or the other. I need to get it done. Keep talking about it, but I keep not doing it. I'm tired of it all sitting around because I had that whole workbench cleaned off and now it's a disaster again. It's starting to bug me. So, go ahead and get the hood for the Corolla sitting back up on the Corolla so it's, you know, not in the way as much. Then, I'm going to die falling over a tire. Then we'll probably start messing with this for a couple before I got to get this out of the garage. Try to get the Nova in the garage. Get the engine and transmission out of it. And then possibly go see something else that I'm picking up rather cheap. That is going to require some parts from the old engine in the Nova. So, we're not going to go into much detail on that yet. Because that is probably going to be a buy it, fix it, flip it. I don't really have intentions on keeping it. I don't think. But, yeah. Alright. That's the plan. Now to actually do the plan. I wish I understood what was wrong with this thing right now. Because one minute, the engine sounds like it's on its last leg and about dead. The bottom end rattling. And the next time you go and start it, it sounds just fine. I don't get it. Do not get it. One of my buddies I was talking to that knows a little bit more about these than me says maybe it's just a cracked head, because these things, when they get hot, they're notorious for cracking the head. So maybe that's all that's wrong with it. I don't know. He's going to have to come over and look at it one day, though. Help me figure it out, because I swear it sounds like the thing's got a bottom end rattle. But it could all be the head heating up, cracked, and warping, causing the misfire and just throwing all the valves way out of lash. I don't know. Gotta have him look at it and figure it out. I just know it's hurting my feelings. I love driving the thing and I can't right now. After a little bit of work, that's better. It ain't perfect, obviously, but it's more usable now. And went to Advance. I have a little helper now. Went to Advance and came up with this to hopefully move this dang thing into a more usable location to do it the way I want to do it. So now I've got to start working on getting it in there. This could take a second. I'm going to try to record it. I'm not going to make any promises, though. Wrong size. Right size. I'm going to do it to where I'm not going to bend everything else. Now that should be able to take that apart. Get some ease now. Oh. Such a mind-numbingly slow process. Okay, now for the next question. The part that actually has me the most concerned. Whether or not this is going to actually let that bottom out all the way. It seems like it might. We'll find out. It seems like it will. Alright. We're going to loosen that back up. As odd as that might sound. I wanted to see if it was going to bottom out, that way I knew whether or not this was actually the fitting I needed. So now that I got that where it'll spin again, we'll start getting the rest of this figured out, because I don't think I have it in the right configuration to work. I think what's going to have to happen here is, I think it needs to go straight through for the brake line, and then the T for the pressure switch needs to go here. I think, if I can get it back apart without messing up all the threads. Yeah, so I think how it needs to go is like this. I wish I could have found 2 of these to do this, but I couldn't find another one. So I had to kind of make do with what I had, or what they had. Oh boy, and that might not fit. Okay. Well, that creates a whole new problem. Alright, that ain't gonna work. So I've got to find the right fitting. Wish me luck, guys. I gotta go back to advance. Well, I did not get the rest of the brake stuff on camera because that turned into a gigantic disaster doing it. But we did take a rather death-defying drive down to advance, which is like 3 blocks down the road. And this brake works amazing. The other front brake, not as amazing. You give it too much brake and you're locking that thing up in a hurry. So I think either that one's adjusted too tight or the other one's adjusted too loose. I'm not sure which one yet. Could go either way on that. Figured out why I got a gas leak. It's because I never hooked the vent line back up. So there's that. I cannot figure out why, but as you're driving, there is a clunking sound coming in first and second gear. It seems to go away going into third. I still haven't put any transmission fluid in it yet, or I think this takes 80-90 gear weight for the transmission, or gear oil. 80-90 weight gear oil. I'll get it right one of these times saying it. I may have, as we were trying to drive out of the garage, and it caught the side of that and ripped it out. And she's now trying to fix it while I'm recording things. But I'm hoping maybe driving it and filling everything with new fluid might take care of that problem, I'm hoping. Because it doesn't seem like it's affecting the way the car drives. It's just really annoying going down the road here and a clunk, clink, click, 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 click. It's what it sounds like. It's just a really loud clicking sound, like something's rubbing and making contact as it turns. Like, so maybe something's hitting the... Something's rubbing on the clutch mechanism. I know what I'm thinking, but words aren't working right now. I'm really tired. I'm really hot. Kind of hungry. Very thirsty. It's been a really long day. I'm just terrible right now. But is it better? Eh.
Definitely need some bigger nails now.
Go figure. Oh well. That's my current mood. I may have threatened to burn the car to the ground 3 to 10 times while we were working on the brakes. Called it a few names. I think that's what finally fixed the brake line. I think I got tired of the threats and it just decided to work. So yeah. Alright, I don't know what's going to happen next because this was supposed to be like a 5-minute thing to get done. Upside, I do have brake lights now though. And then this was supposed to come out and the Nova was supposed to come in the garage so I could get the engine out. Well, I talked to my brother-in-law and told him that I don't know if I'm going to have time to get the engine out. I'm either going to have time to get the engine out or I'm going to have time to bring it to him. this week, I don't think I got time to do both. He said, screw it, I don't care. Get it on the trailer, get it over here, engine in it or not. He's like, I got time to pull the engine. It was just going to be more convenient if I didn't have to. So, I'm going to pull some parts off of the engine. And that's going to be about it, I think. If I pull some of this stuff, it'll make his life a little easier. Not as easy as if it wasn't in there at all. Diet Coke. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so there's going to be a little bit more this week, I think, on the Rambler instead. That's what I think I might spend tomorrow doing. If there's not just the road trip of dropping the Nova off as part of this video instead. Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy I actually got to drive it more than 10 foot. So it's getting better. It's definitely getting to the point now, I think, in order to do much more with it, I really need to go get a tag for it and make it just ever so slightly more legal.
The plus side of her birthday being in my boot.
Yeah, that, and I gotta go. My birthday is like next weekend. So I gotta go update tags on a lot of things. Like this, and get tags for this, and update tags on those. Get a tag for that. I think the MG has my plate on it too, so I gotta go get tagged for that. And basically, everything needs a tag updated but the Corolla, because until that thing is a little farther along the running and driving, I'm not gonna bother getting a tag for it again yet. But everything else, runs and drives, needs a tag. So, and the Nova, I could just transfer the one from the Nova over to this, but it's only going to be a couple months yet before that thing's actually drivable again. So, I don't want to take the one off of it. Huh?
Why not keep it legal?
Yeah, we're going to keep it legal just to be safe, because I think my brother-in-law's goal is to have it done in about a month and a half. He's being very cool about it. He really, the entire time he's known me, he's never actually seen me touch the car up until lately. And then I asked for his help, which he knows me asking for help is a very rare thing. And he's like, absolutely, get it to me. I will get it done as quickly as possible. I want to see you back in this car. So yeah, I don't know if you'll watch this, Brandon, but if you do, thank you. Yeah. All right, I think I'm done rambling for a few minutes.
I want food.
Okay, food?
Food.
You want to go get food? You want food? Do you want something besides your peanut butter?
Probably not.
Probably not. All right, guys. We'll be back a little bit later. Well, here we are. She is loaded up on the back of the old Tundra here. And I got to grab a couple more things to get the kids loaded up. Make a run to the bank and start heading toward my brother-in-law's house. I think his house is not quite 2 hours away, maybe a little less. It might be closer to an hour and a half. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, she's on the trailer and ready to go. I actually drove up onto the trailer, so I'm gonna drive off it after I get there. I'm robbing a couple parts off of it, so sorry, Brandon. But and they're mowing next door too. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, this is one of the last times this thing needs to be on the trailer for a while, other than bringing it home. Probably trailer at home just because front brakes are questionable, or the brakes in general are questionable, being drum brake all the way around, and the front suspension needs some work. There's a couple worn out bushings and things that need dealt with. I just want to get it running right before I bother with all that. Because I don't want to go dumping a ton of money in the rest of it and then just never have it running right. That means it doesn't matter how much money's in the rest of the car. If it never runs right, I'm never going to get to enjoy it. So, yeah. All right. She might be squat. I don't know if it's squatting the Tundra a little bit or if it's just the fact that I'm sitting on a little bit of an incline. Either way, she's loaded, ready to go. Probably could have pulled her a little further forward on the trailer. But I didn't want to overload the tongue weight on the truck either, so... yeah, all right. Away we go. We get out and eat, baby? You ready? We're making our first stop before we leave Findlay. We're going to get the kids food before we head out. Since it's a couple hour drive and we haven't had breakfast or anything yet, so... But Nova's looking good on the trailer. See you guys at the next stop. Alright, we're almost there. I forgot the in-laws' house is a little over an hour and a half away. Brother-in-law's house is only about an hour away, so I'm a little closer than I thought. Just want to give all the straps and stuff a quick check to make sure they're all good. Because this right here is why I wanted to check. Oh. There we go. That ain't going nowhere. Not worried about this one because that's more or less just to make sure those two, if they do come loose, there's something there to catch it. So, alright. I think we're ready to keep on moving down the road. I think we're only about 20 minutes away at this point, but I still wanted to stop and check. It makes me feel better. See if my ramps moved at all. The ramps moved a little bit. Nothing crazy. And they are strapped to where they can't really go very far. They just bounce around a little bit. I'll try giving that one another click. There we go. Like I said, they ain't going anywhere. They just look a little sketchy. Alright. I'm gonna hop back in the truck and finish this drive. We got it unloaded from the trailer. Got it parked here, hopefully far enough over out of his way that's not an issue. That way he can still get his Yukon out. Because I called him, hey, I got it dropped off in your driveway because he's not home right now. They're apparently in Maine. Finishing up a trip before they get ready to head home. And I figured, you know, both the Suburbans being parked up here, they got drove more and everything else. I know he drives the brown one a lot. I think that's his daily when he's not driving his work van. But yeah, apparently the Yukon's the one that gets driven the most. I was like, oh fuck. All right, so hopefully that's big enough hole for him to get in and out of. It should be. But now I didn't bring any of my stuff to record with me because, well, it's not my place, so I don't want to record a lot. Ow. Fucking hood latch. I'm going to pull the carb off, valve covers off, and pull the distributor out of it because that's all new stuff. Might be picking up something in the next couple days that stuff's going to be needed for. We'll see how that goes. That'll be another video, though. You guys will have to wait and see that if I end up buying it. Not going to say what it is, where it is, anything like that yet. But yeah, alright. Let's get this done. The process of pulling off the carburetor, I think I discovered what part of my problem was. These plugs right here are vacuum caps that aren't even a year old are just dry rotted to hell. I bet that was causing a vacuum leak or two. Which would explain why we've been having nothing but issues getting this thing to run even remotely right. Mildly irritating, but it is what it is, I guess. Now to go ahead and get the rest of this off. Really hope that hasn't been the problem the whole time. That would make me more than a little upset. That answers a few more questions. I think the old girl had a blown head gasket. Wouldn't have guessed that one. Huh. Oh well. Well, at least now I feel better about it and not knowing that it's not just the vacuum caps. I mean, that could be from condensation, but boy, that would be a hefty amount of condensation. So, here or there. Maybe it's assembly lube. I don't know. Definitely hadn't much to be in there, though. Alright, well. And with as much as we ran this thing already, it'd be odd to see it now when we haven't seen it before. So, yeah. As you guys can see, though, she had a little bit of work done to her. So she should have been a good motor. But, is what it is. The dangerous drive home. with an empty trailer. Got a butt head loaded up, ready to go. Let's get this done. Oh, we are home from dropping off the Nova. The only things left here from it are the shiny new polycarb, the shiny new MSD distributor, the valve covers over there, and we come home to the water pump is here for the Rambler. I'm hoping it's slightly different than the one that's on the car. I thought it looked like the one on the car in the picture. I was a little wrong. So I'm hoping the bolt holes all look the same, so I'm hoping it's going to work. We'll find out though. The big difference is on the one for the Rambler, this is a threaded in pipe that kind of comes up this way a little bit, versus this one is a cast piece. So I'm hoping it hasn't changed the location of that bolt hole. If so, then I guess I'll be figuring something else out and looking for yet another water pump. But that being said, I think this is where we're going to end the video for the week. The water pump going on will be another video. I think the next thing you guys watch me do though is going to be getting that thing cleaned up and changing at least one, if not both, of the rear U joints, because the one rear U joint is bad. Like, I'm now questioning why and how I drove it an hour home bad. So, but when we come back to this again, we will be doing the water pump, getting that finalized. I want to go ahead and finally drain out whatever transmission fluid is left in it and refill that. And I am going to start getting the gauge cluster back together and in it that someone else started. So that's going to take a little bit of figuring out, because it needs a power wire run to it that I currently don't have a power wire that I can find to run to it. I found one for the lights at least, so there's that. And I am debating on modifying their idea, because theirs has this neat nifty thing in it that has oil pressure, fuel level, water temp, and voltage built into here. I'm thinking about replacing this with a tack and getting the more basic, 3-pod that you can put at the bottom of the dashboard for the rest of it. So that might be changing, and I might be redoing all of that wire completely. But we'll see. I haven't quite decided yet on how I want to handle that. It's one of those, I will cross that bridge when I come to it. Hopefully. So there's a few things yet to figure out and yet to do. What is the other? Because the other one's the speedometer. That one's the speedometer. That hooks into the cable. This fan is for the heating and cooling. I got to get that figured out, how to hook that back up. Not that I'm really worried about either one in this. I would like heat at least, maybe, if I can get it figured out. Want to get the turn signal lights to work because they're there. I don't know what they were expecting this middle one to be. I think maybe the middle one was for high beams. So I might try to make that work if I can. It really is going to boil down to what all I can find in the wiring here and make work. So, and the wiring that's down there. So, yeah, little by little. This thing is getting close to roadworthy though. So, I think this week I'm actually going to try to get a tag for it. And go from there. But, as always guys, thank you for watching. I know this video has been a little random, kind of all over the place, but that seems to be how I do them anymore. You can at least smile. She's a little grumpy. She just woke up from her nap in the truck. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. As always, remember, it's not about the destination, it's about the adventure. Get out, have some fun, work on your stuff. Try to have a good day. See you guys next time. Smile. There we go. See you guys.